Success is not a mystery. It's not reserved for the few, the lucky, or the chosen. Success is a matter of practicing a handful of disciplines, repeated day in and day out. It's about what you do consistently, not occasionally. If you want to change your life, you don't need to change everything overnight. You need to build the right habits. So let's talk about the 8 habits that will take you from where you are to where you want to be. Habit 1: discipline your mind and your time. The first habit of success is discipline. Without it, nothing else works. Discipline is the bridge between intention and accomplishment. Learn to control your time, because wasted hours turn into wasted years. Every hour you invest in discipline pays you back in freedom. Habit 20: read and learn. Everyday leaders are readers. Successful people feed their mind just like they feed their body. A few pages of a good book, a thoughtful idea, a new skill, that's what sharpens your thinking. Don't just go through the day, get something from the day. Habit 3: set clear goals. A life without goals is like a ship without a rudder. It drifts, it floats, but it never arrives. Write your goals down. Big goals, small goals, short-term and long-term. Goals give direction to your energy and purpose to your actions. Habit 40: take care of your health. Your body is the only vehicle you have to carry you through this life. Protect it. Exercise, eat wisely, rest enough. Success demands energy, and energy comes from treating your body with respect. Habit 5: surround yourself with the right people. You become like the people you spend the most time with. If you're around complainers, you'll complain. If you're around dreamers, you'll dream. Choose your circle wisely. Make sure it lifts you higher, not pulls you down. Habit 60: practice gratitude. Success is not just about achieving more. It's about appreciating what you already have. Gratitude turns little into enough, and it makes the journey enjoyable. When you're thankful, you stop focusing on what's missing and start multiplying what's good. Habit 70: take action daily. Ideas are worthless until you act on them. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Small, consistent actions create unstoppable momentum. Success doesn't come from one big leap. It comes from steady steps taken every single day. Habit 80: reflect and improve. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I do well? What could I do better? Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Improvement isn't automatic, it's intentional. A little adjustment every day leads to massive growth over time. Success isn't built on luck or chance. It's built on habits. If you practice these 8 habits: discipline, learning, goal setting, health, relationships, gratitude, action, and reflection, then success becomes inevitable. Not someday, but every day. As you live out these principles, meaningful pursuit rests. Without discipline, talent fades, motivation weakens, and potential is wasted. Discipline is the quiet force that guides you when excitement wears off and when challenges stand in your way. It is the ability to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. Many people wait for motivation to strike, but motivation is fleeting. Discipline, however, is steady. It is the difference between wishing for success and creating it. It is the bridge that connects intention with reality, vision with accomplishment, and desire with results. Think of discipline as the architect of your future. Every choice you make is like laying a brick, and over time, those bricks form the structure of your life. Without discipline, the structure is weak and unstable, unable to withstand pressure. With discipline, each brick is placed with care, building a foundation strong enough to support your biggest ambitions. The small decisions you make daily, from how you spend your mornings to how you use your evenings, accumulate into patterns that shape your destiny. Discipline ensures those patterns lead to progress rather than regret. Discipline also means sacrificing temporary comfort for long-term rewards. It is easy to indulge in what feels good now, but discipline asks you to look beyond the moment and weigh the cost of your actions. Success requires effort, sacrifice, and patience. and discipline is what keeps you committed to the process. When you wake up early to study, when you say no to distractions, when you choose to exercise instead of procrastinate, you are practicing discipline. These small choices may not seem significant in the moment, but over time, they compound into extraordinary results. Discipline makes the difference between those who wish for change and those who achieve it. Another truth about discipline is that it brings freedom. While it may sound paradoxical, discipline is what frees you from chaos, stress, and mediocrity. When you are disciplined with your time, you have control over your day instead of your day controlling you. When you are disciplined with your habits, you gain the freedom to live a healthier, wealthier, and more fulfilling life. Imagine the freedom of financial independence that comes from disciplined saving and investing, or the freedom of good health that comes from disciplined nutrition and exercise. Discipline is not a prison, it is the key that unlocks a life of greater options and opportunities. Discipline also strengthens character. Each time you choose discipline over excuses, you are building resilience and integrity. You become someone who can be trusted to follow through, not just by others, but by yourself. There is no confidence greater than knowing you can rely on your own word, that when you set a goal, you will take the steps required to reach it. Discipline allows you to respect yourself because it proves that you have the strength to keep promises and the courage to pursue what truly matters. What makes discipline powerful is that it is available to anyone. You do not need to be born with extraordinary intelligence, wealth, or connections to practice discipline. It does not matter where you start. What matters is the consistency of your choices. Every day, you have the chance to strengthen discipline like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but over time, discipline becomes second nature. What once seemed difficult becomes routine, and what once required effort becomes effortless. The path to success is rarely easy, but discipline makes it possible. It keeps you steady when obstacles arise and when setbacks tempt you to quit. It teaches you persistence, patience, and perseverance. Without discipline, even the most talented individuals fall short because raw ability without structure cannot sustain long-term success. With discipline, even ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things because they are willing to do the work others avoid. Discipline may not always be glamorous, but it is always effective. It is the quiet force that shapes lives, the foundation upon which greatness is built, and the most valuable habit you can ever master. Feeding your mind daily is one of the greatest investments you can ever make in yourself. Just as the body requires food to stay strong and healthy, the mind needs nourishment to remain sharp, creative, and capable of growth. A neglected mind becomes weak, stagnant, and unproductive, but a well-fed mind becomes powerful, resilient, and innovative. The thoughts you allow in, the information you absorb, and the ideas you expose yourself to determine the quality of your thinking and, ultimately, the quality of your life. If you want success, you must dedicate yourself to learning, because success follows those who continuously expand their minds. The world is constantly changing, and knowledge is the tool that helps you adapt, compete, and thrive. When you commit to feeding your mind daily, you give yourself an edge over those who settle for what they already know. Every book you read, every meaningful conversation you have, every educational video or podcast you listen to adds another layer of depth to your understanding. You don't always see immediate results, but slowly, quietly, your thinking evolves. What once seemed difficult becomes clear. What once seemed impossible becomes achievable because your mind has been stretched by new perspectives. Reading is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to nourish your mind. Books contain the wisdom of those who came before us. Lessons earned through years of experience condensed into pages you can consume in days. One good book can save you from years of mistakes, guide you through challenges, or spark an idea that transforms your life. When you choose to read daily, even just a few pages, you plant seeds of knowledge that continue to grow long after you close the book. And it is not only books, articles, journals, and thoughtful essays can all contribute to feeding your mind, provided you are intentional about what you consume. What you listen to also matters. Words carry energy, and repeated messages shape your beliefs. If you constantly listen to negativity, gossip, or shallow entertainment, your thinking will reflect that. But if you fill your mind with positive ideas, success stories, educational talks, and inspiring messages, you begin to see opportunities instead of limitations. Feeding your mind is about choosing carefully, filtering out the noise, and prioritizing content that builds you up rather than tears you down. Another powerful way to feed your mind is by learning new skills. The more skills you develop, the more valuable you become, not only to others, but also to yourself. Whether it's mastering communication, improving financial literacy, or exploring technology, every skill broadens your horizon and increases your ability to succeed in different areas of life. Continuous learning keeps your mind active, curious, and adaptable. In a world that evolves so quickly, those who stop learning get left behind, but those who commit to growth stay relevant and prepared for every opportunity. Feeding your mind daily is not just about consuming information, but also about reflection and application. Knowledge without action is wasted. When you learn something new, think about how you can apply it to your life, your work, or your relationships. Take time to write down insights, to journal your thoughts, or to discuss ideas with others. This process of reflection strengthens understanding and transforms information into wisdom. Feeding your mind means not only taking in knowledge, but also using it to improve the way you live and think. The beauty of feeding your mind is that it compounds over time. One day of learning might not change much, but a year of consistent learning will completely transform you. Imagine the difference 5 years of daily growth could make. While others stay the same, stuck in old patterns, you will have expanded your capacity, deepened your wisdom, and built a mindset that attracts success. The commitment to growth separates those who merely wish for a better life from those who create it. Ultimately, your mind is the engine that drives your destiny. A sharp, well-fed mind produces strong decisions, creative solutions, and powerful actions. A starved mind, on the other hand, falls victim to confusion, procrastination, and fear. The choice is yours every day. Will you feed your mind with knowledge, ideas, and inspiration? Or will you starve it with distractions, negativity, and idleness? Your future depends on that choice. By feeding your mind daily, you prepare yourself not just to face life, but to master it. Clear goals give direction, and without them, life drifts aimlessly. A person without goals is like a ship without a rudder, tossed by the waves, moving, but never truly arriving anywhere. Success is not about working harder alone. It is about working purposefully. When you set clear goals, you create a map for your journey, a destination that guides your energy, choices, and actions. Without a destination, even the most determined effort can feel empty, but with a goal, every step has meaning. Clarity is the first power of goal setting. A vague desire like, "I want to be successful," is too undefined to create progress. Success means different things to different people, and until you define it clearly for yourself, you cannot pursue it effectively. Goals must be specific, measurable, and personal. For example, saying, "I want to be healthier," is good, but saying, "I will exercise 5 times a week for 30 minutes," creates clarity. It turns a wish into a plan. Clear goals transform hope into responsibility. Goals also provide focus. Every day, you are faced with countless choices, distractions, and opportunities. Without goals, you waste energy on things that do not matter. With goals, you know where to direct your attention. They help you distinguish between what is important and what is not. When you have a clear goal, You can ask yourself with every decision, does this move me closer to my goal or further away? That question alone can save you from years of wasted effort. Focus is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters most. Clear goals also give motivation. The mind is fueled by purpose. When you know what you are working toward, you have a reason to wake up early, to push through challenges, and to stay consistent when things get hard. Goals give you something to aim for, something that excites you, something that reminds you that the struggle has meaning. Without goals, obstacles feel overwhelming. With goals, obstacles become stepping stones, temporary hurdles on the way to your vision. Another benefit of clear goals is that they allow you to measure progress. Imagine climbing a mountain without knowing where the top is. You would feel exhausted, frustrated, and uncertain. But if you know exactly where you are heading, every step forward feels rewarding. When you set clear goals, you create milestones that show you how far you've come. Small victories build confidence, and confidence fuels momentum. Each achievement, no matter how small, becomes proof that your goal is possible and within reach. Goals also bring accountability. When you write them down, when you share them, or when you commit to them publicly, you create a standard for yourself. You hold yourself responsible for your actions. This accountability strengthens discipline and reduces procrastination. Without goals, it is easy to excuse laziness or delay. With goals, you know what you must do, and you either do it or admit you are falling short. Accountability creates honesty, and honesty with yourself is the beginning of real growth. Clear goals not only direct your actions, but also shape your mindset. When you set meaningful goals, you begin to think differently. You stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start asking, "How can I do this?" Your brain becomes solution-oriented, looking for ways, people, and resources to help you succeed. This shift in mindset opens doors you might not have seen before. Opportunities that once seemed invisible appear clearly, simply because you are now focused on finding them. Goals act like a magnet, pulling ideas and opportunities into your awareness. Most importantly, goals give your life meaning. A life without goals is a life lived by accident, a life spent reacting instead of creating. Goals give you purpose, and purpose gives you fulfillment. The joy is not only in reaching the goal, but in becoming the kind of person capable of reaching it. Each goal challenges you to grow, to stretch, and to rise above your old self. The process of working toward goals shapes character, builds resilience, and teaches patience. In the end, the true reward is not just the achievement, but the transformation that happens along the way. When you have clear goals, you have direction. You no longer wander aimlessly, you move deliberately. Each day becomes a step toward your vision, each action a building block for your future. The clearer your goals, the stronger your focus, the deeper your motivation, and the greater your progress. Goals do not guarantee success, but without them, success is nearly impossible. By setting clear goals, you give yourself the gift of direction, purpose, and the power to design your life instead of leaving it to chance. Health fuels achievement because without it, no dream, no goal, and no success can be fully realized. You can have ambition, talent, and opportunity, but if your body and mind are weak, you will not have the energy or focus to sustain the journey. Success requires stamina. It requires vitality. It requires a foundation of physical and mental well-being that allows you to show up at your best every day. Health is not just about avoiding sickness. It is about creating the strength, energy, and clarity needed to pursue your vision with consistency and determination. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life, and just like any vehicle, it performs based on how well it is maintained. Neglect it, and it breaks down. Care for it, and it takes you far. Too many people chase wealth, recognition, or status at the cost of their health, only to later spend their wealth trying to recover what they lost. The wise understand that true achievement is built on balance, And health is the core of that balance. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot give your best to your work, your family, or your dreams if your body is drained and your mind is clouded. Taking care of your health begins with the basics: proper nutrition, regular exercise, and adequate rest. These are not luxuries, they are necessities. Food is fuel, and what you eat determines the quality of energy you bring into each day. Processed, unhealthy choices might satisfy for a moment, but they deplete you in the long run. Nutritious food, on the other hand, gives you strength, focus, and endurance. Exercise keeps your body strong, your mood elevated, and your mind sharp. Rest allows your body to recover, repair, and prepare for the challenges ahead. When these three pillars are honored, your energy multiplies, and with energy comes achievement. Health is not only physical, it is mental as well. Stress, worry, and negative thinking are as harmful as poor diet or lack of sleep. Protecting your mental health means managing stress, practicing mindfulness, and creating space for peace in your life. A calm and focused mind makes better decisions, sees opportunities more clearly, and responds to challenges with resilience. Mental strength is built the same way physical strength is, through consistent practice, discipline, and self-care. Reading, journaling, meditation, and surrounding yourself with positive influences all contribute to a healthier mind. The relationship between health and achievement is simple. When you feel better, you perform better. Think of the days when you were tired, drained, or unwell. Productivity was low, motivation was weak, and even small tasks felt overwhelming. Now compare that to the days when you were energized, rested, and strong. Ideas flowed, work was easier, and challenges felt manageable. That difference is the power of health fueling achievement. When you invest in your health daily, you set yourself up for consistent high performance. Another truth about health is that it compounds just like wealth. Small daily choices accumulate over time. Choosing water instead of soda, a walk instead of scrolling on your phone, or an early bedtime instead of another late night may not seem significant in the moment. But add those choices up over months and years, and they transform your life. Poor health habits compound negatively, stealing energy and shortening opportunities. Strong health habits compound positively, giving you decades of vitality and the ability to pursue bigger dreams. Health also builds confidence. When you know you are taking care of your body, you feel better about yourself. Confidence radiates in how you speak, how you act, and how you interact with others. That confidence opens doors, strengthens relationships, and amplifies opportunities. A healthy body and mind project strength and discipline, and those qualities attract trust and respect. Achievement demands effort, and effort requires energy. No matter how brilliant your ideas are, or how ambitious your goals may be, without the energy to act on them, they remain out of reach. Protecting and nurturing your health ensures that you have the fuel to execute your plans, the endurance to stay the course, and the strength to rise after setbacks. In the end, health is not separate from achievement. It is the foundation of it. It is what allows you to enjoy your success, to sustain it, and to expand it. Wealth without health is misery, but health with achievement is fulfillment. When you care for your body and mind, you position yourself to live fully, to give fully, and to accomplish more than you thought possible. Health is the power behind every dream, the energy behind every action, and the fuel behind every achievement. Your circle shapes you in ways you may not always notice, yet its influence is constant and powerful. The people you spend the most time with affect how you think, how you act, and even what you believe is possible for yourself. Human beings naturally adapt to their environment, and your closest environment is the circle of people you allow into your life. Their words, their habits, their attitudes, and their values become the background music to your own life, and over time, you begin to move in rhythm with them. If you want to understand your future, look closely at your circle. because it is shaping you every single day. The truth is, energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with complainers, you will begin to complain. If you surround yourself with dreamers and doers, you will begin to dream bigger and act bolder. The mindset of your circle seeps into your own thinking, whether you realize it or not. This is why it is essential to be intentional about the company you keep. Just as you are careful about what you feed your body or your mind, you must be equally careful about the people you allow to influence your spirit. Your circle can either lift you or limit you. Positive, ambitious, and disciplined people challenge you to rise higher. They encourage growth, celebrate your victories, and hold you accountable when you fall short. They remind you of your potential and inspire you to keep going. On the other hand, a negative or stagnant circle can weigh you down. People who constantly complain, criticize, or discourage you plant seeds of doubt and fear. If you are not cautious, their limited vision can shrink your own. What they see as impossible, you might begin to see as impossible too. This is the silent but powerful influence of a circle. Surrounding yourself with the right people does not mean only seeking those who are ahead of you, but it does mean choosing those who share your values and goals. A strong circle is made up of people who are not only supportive, but also honest. They do not flatter you into complacency. They push you toward growth. They are the ones who will tell you the truth when you need to hear it, not just what you want to hear. True friends in your circle will challenge your excuses, remind you of your standards, and expect you to live up to your potential. Another aspect of your circle is that it creates opportunities. The right people open doors you could not open alone. They introduce you to new ideas, new connections, and new possibilities. Your circle can become a network of growth, a source of learning, and a platform for success. When you are in the company of motivated individuals, you naturally find yourself exposed to greater opportunities. When you are in the company of those who have given up, opportunities rarely appear because no one in that environment is looking for them. Choosing your circle wisely also requires courage, because sometimes it means letting go of people who no longer align with your growth. This does not mean you look down on them or stop caring about them, but it does mean you cannot afford to let their habits or negativity hold you back. Growth often requires separation. If your circle does not support the life you are building, you must have the courage to create distance and surround yourself with those who do. It is not about being harsh. It is about protecting your future. Your circle should also include people who inspire you, role models, mentors, and individuals who have achieved what you aspire to achieve. Expand your vision. They prove by example what is possible and guide you with wisdom earned from experience. Being around people who are already where you want to go fuels your belief and accelerates your journey. Inspiration is powerful, and it multiplies when you spend time with those who live at a higher standard. At the same time, remember that you are also part of someone else's circle. The influence you receive is the same influence you give. Ask yourself, what energy do I bring to my circle? Do I inspire, encourage, and uplift, or do I drain, discourage, and limit? Being intentional about the circle you keep also means being intentional about the role you play in it. When you bring positivity, discipline, and ambition, you strengthen not only yourself but also those around you. In the end, your circle is like a mirror, reflecting back the kind of person you are becoming. If you want to see growth, surround yourself with growth. If you want to see strength, surround yourself with strength. If you want to see success, surround yourself with people who live in pursuit of it. You cannot control everything in life, but you can control who you allow into your circle. Choose wisely, because your circle shapes you, and in shaping you, it shapes your destiny. Gratitude multiplies success, because it shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from focusing on what is missing to appreciating what is present. Too often, people chase after more without ever pausing to value what they already have. This creates a cycle of dissatisfaction where no achievement feels enough. Gratitude breaks that cycle. It turns small blessings into great ones, ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences, and simple victories into meaningful milestones. When you practice gratitude, you don't just see success when you finally reach the mountaintop. You see it all along the journey. Gratitude changes how you approach life. When you wake up thankful for the day, your energy is different. You face challenges with a calmer mind because instead of being overwhelmed by problems, you see opportunities. Gratitude does not mean ignoring difficulties, but it gives you the strength to endure them by focusing on what remains good and possible. A grateful heart is resilient because it finds reasons to keep going, even in hard times. Success is not about a life free of problems. It is about a mindset strong enough to rise above them, and gratitude is what builds that strength. When you practice gratitude, you multiply your success because you begin to notice progress more clearly. Many people overlook small wins because they are only waiting for the big breakthrough. But success is built step by step, and gratitude allows you to celebrate those steps. Every improvement, every lesson, every effort becomes something to acknowledge. This creates momentum. The more you appreciate progress, the more motivated you are to keep going. Success is rarely the result of one big leap. It is the result of consistent effort over time, and gratitude fuels that consistency. Gratitude also deepens relationships, which are one of the greatest contributors to success. People thrive when they feel valued, and expressing gratitude strengthens trust, respect, and connection. Whether it's thanking a mentor for guidance, appreciating a colleague for teamwork, or acknowledging family for their support, gratitude multiplies the quality of your relationships. Stronger relationships open doors, create opportunities, and provide encouragement during setbacks. Success may start with individual effort, but it is sustained by collective support, and gratitude is the glue that binds those connections. Another way gratitude multiplies success is by keeping you grounded. Ambition is important, but unchecked ambition can lead to arrogance or dissatisfaction. Gratitude balances ambition by reminding you of how far you've come. It humbles you to recognize the role others have played in your journey, and it helps you stay content without becoming complacent. Gratitude makes you hungry for more while being happy with now, a balance that prevents burnout and fosters long-term achievement. Gratitude also changes the way you see wealth and abundance. Success is not only measured by what you gain, but also by how you feel about what you gain. Without gratitude, you can accumulate money, status, or possessions and still feel empty. With gratitude, even modest achievements feel rich. This mindset attracts more opportunities because people are drawn to those who appreciate what they have instead of always complaining about what they lack. Gratitude creates a magnetic energy that pulls more good into your life. Practicing gratitude daily is simple but powerful. It can be as small as writing down 3 things you are thankful for each morning, or pausing each evening to reflect on what went well in your day. It can be as quick as saying thank you to those who help you, or as deep as silently appreciating the opportunities and challenges that are shaping you. Gratitude does not require perfect circumstances, it requires awareness. The more you practice it, the more naturally it comes, and soon you will find yourself grateful not only for victories, but also for lessons, not only for comfort, but also for challenges, because you see how all of it contributes to your growth. In the long run, gratitude makes success sustainable. Achievements can bring temporary happiness, but gratitude turns them into lasting fulfillment. It allows you to enjoy the journey instead of rushing to the destination. It keeps you from comparing your life to others and instead helps you focus on what is uniquely yours. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is a discipline. And when practiced consistently, It multiplies success by giving you joy in every stage of the process. True success is not only about reaching the top, but about appreciating the climb. Gratitude ensures you see the beauty in each step, the value in each effort, and the gift in each moment. It multiplies success by making every part of the journey meaningful and by preparing your heart to welcome even greater achievements with humility and joy. Action and reflection drive progress because one without the other leaves you incomplete. Action alone may keep you busy, but without reflection, you risk repeating the same mistakes and never learning from them. Reflection alone may make you thoughtful, but without action, your insights remain ideas that never see the light of day. The balance of the two, taking consistent steps forward and then pausing to evaluate those steps, is what creates true and lasting progress. It is the rhythm of doing and learning, moving and adjusting, that builds momentum toward success. Action is the spark that turns intention into reality. Ideas have no power until you act on them. Dreams remain fantasies until you take steps toward them. Many people wait for perfect timing, for the right mood, or for complete confidence before they act. But waiting is the enemy of progress. The truth is that clarity comes through action, not before it. You discover your strengths, your weaknesses, and your opportunities by moving forward, even if imperfectly. One step, however small, begins the momentum, and momentum is what carries you past hesitation. Yet action without reflection can become wasted effort. Imagine climbing a ladder only to realize it is leaning against the wrong wall. Hard work is valuable, but without reflection, it can push you in the wrong direction. Reflection allows you to pause and ask important questions. Is this working? Am I closer to my goal? What can I do better? Reflection transforms experiences into lessons and prevents repeated mistakes. It is the process of turning activity into wisdom, of making sure your energy is invested in the right places. The combination of action and reflection creates a cycle of growth. You act, you reflect, and then you adjust your action based on what you've learned. Each cycle brings you closer to mastery. Athletes train this way, practicing and then reviewing performance to refine their technique. Leaders operate this way, making decisions, evaluating outcomes, and improving strategies. Individuals who succeed in any field understand this cycle. They are not afraid to act, but they are also not too proud to pause and reflect. Progress requires both courage and humility, the courage to act and the humility to learn. Reflection also brings clarity to your goals. When you stop to think about your progress, you gain insight into what truly matters to you. Sometimes action reveals that a goal you thought was important does not actually fulfill you. Reflection gives you the space to realign your actions with your deeper values. Without it, you may chase after someone else's definition of success and end up unfulfilled. Reflection ensures your progress is not just movement, but meaningful movement in the right direction. Another power of reflection is that it helps you appreciate how far you've come. In the rush to achieve more, people often overlook their own growth. By pausing to reflect, you recognize the steps you've already taken, the lessons you've already learned, and the strength you've already built. This fuels confidence and gratitude, both of which are essential for long-term success. When you see your progress clearly, you find motivation to keep moving forward, even when the road is difficult. Action and reflection together also create resilience. When you act and fail, reflection allows you to learn instead of quit. It transforms failure from something to fear into something to study. You begin to see setbacks not as dead ends, but as valuable feedback. Every reflection sharpens your strategy, and every new action applies that wisdom. This cycle of failing, reflecting, and trying again builds resilience that no obstacle can break. Daily life offers countless opportunities to practice this principle. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to review. What did I do today that worked? What could I have done differently? What will I do tomorrow to improve? This simple habit, repeated consistently, compounds over time. You become sharper, wiser, and more effective because you are not just acting blindly but acting intelligently. The secret of progress is not perfection but adjustment. Nobody gets everything right on the first try. Those who achieve the most are not those who never make mistakes, but those who act, reflect, and adapt quickly. Action provides the experience, reflection provides the lesson, and together they provide the growth. In the end, success is not a straight line. It is a series of steps, pauses, corrections, and renewed steps. Action keeps you moving forward, and reflection keeps you moving in the right direction. Together, they form the engine of progress, ensuring that your effort is not wasted and your journey is not aimless. If you want to grow, if you want to achieve, if you want to reach the next level of your potential, commit to both. Take action daily and reflect deeply. Let one fuel the other and watch as your life moves steadily toward the success you envision.